Everybody.
Oh, please, just a sec. It's not there. It's preparing. I'll let you know when it
Okay.
uh we are live yet. Just a sec. Not yet. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Russ. And the first thing is, thank you. I would like to say thank you to you, Navdeeta, for hosting this, and of course, Council Academy. I I'm so grateful. I appreciate it very much to be here with you all.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Russ. And the first thing is,
Oh, sorry, there's a big delay. I'm sorry. Okay. Actually, if you don't mind maybe muting yourselves, that would be great because then I won't get the feedback. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So um let's see. Okay. I'm so sorry. Elaine, we have to ask you to mute yourself, please. Okay, well, we will continue. So, again, thank you for having me here. So, one of the things that's really important to me as we present this is that I would like to make this a very interactive kind of a situation. I don't want it to be just where I'm lecturing, but for us to interact together. So, please, if you're with us live right now, don't hesitate to jump in, ask any questions. You can jump in the chat, of course. Whatever, just raise your hand and get my attention, and I'll answer your questions. I'll also pause as we go through this so that there'll be a chance for that. And then the other thing is because I want to make this content as relevant as I can, I've included something that I'm going to call a reflection check-in. And that's just the time where we can pause for a minute, you can reflect on the material, and then I can also ask you about your thoughts and your feelings as we go through this. So with that, let's jump right into it. Most of the parents of neurodivergent kids that I speak to share a very common challenge. And that is one that I also share myself, which is how do you handle all the stress and the chaos and the overwhelm that comes with this very unique kind of parenting, right? Not just for back to school, but beyond that as well. And so, of course, that's what we'll be talking about today. Um, I know for sure that these parents are very deeply invested in their child's well-being, but that also comes at their own cost as well. So sometimes there are things a little bit out of balance. When, of course, it's back to school time, and while this transition in itself can be very stressful, it can feel even more overwhelming with everything else that's on your plate. So there's going to be school meetings. There'll be all the appointments and therapy sessions that you're managing currently. There's going to be meltdowns to handle, relationship issues, and everything else that comes up in life. And of course, the pressures don't end with the school year. They're part of everyday life. That's just kind of like how things go. And so today, what I want to do is just kind of offer you a different perspective and share some ideas that can help you to feel calmer in those chaotic and stressful moments so you can have a happier life and become a stronger role model for your kids so that you can handle whatever life throws at you with ease and with confidence. And so, of course, what we're discussing today is relevant to back to school, but like I said a moment ago, it's going to apply to to life beyond back to school as well. With everything that's going on in your life, it is very easy to sideline your own needs, especially when you might also be juggling a high demand career or going after personal goals. There's just a lot going on in all of our lives. But it's because life can be so hectic and so busy that there's something crucial that often gets overlooked. And that is nurturing peace. So why would I talk about peace when that's probably the last thing on your mind when I just said all these things that are happening in your life, like peace is maybe not even a priority or something that you think about very much. But there's a very specific reason, of course, that I bring it up. And that is it's because of what becomes possible when you're feeling the gracefulness and the possibilities of peace rather than the turmoil of stress and overwhelm. Does that make sense? So, an inner stance that is centered in peace allows you to be calm and in control in the most chaotic times, no matter what's happening in your parenting journey or even in other parts of your life or in the growth of your career. So, in just a moment, I'm going to give you a framework that's going to guide you in all of this. But for now, it's time for our first reflection check-in. Yay! So, this one is real simple here in the beginning. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your current level of inner peace and balance in your life? Where 1 is you're a lot of stress, and 10 is you're just totally blissed out. So, if you don't mind, please drop a number in the chat so we can check this out. 7.5. Okay. And if Elaine wants to, you can. That's cool. And if not, you can add it when you're ready. So there's a reason that I bring this up, obviously, right? What I want you to understand about that, about the level of stress, is actually the true source of it, the root cause of the stress. And although I know that what I'm about to say doesn't sound like it's going to be true, just hang with me for a minute. Let me talk about it. Your stress, your worry, your overwhelm, all of that doesn't actually come from the challenges that you face every day. It doesn't come from the things that you have no control over, and it doesn't even come from your child's difficult behavior. The real reason that you're stressed and you're overwhelmed is because you haven't learned how to be more in tune with yourself to eliminate that stress. So really, you don't have a stress and overwhelm problem. You have what I call an inner harmony problem. And until you solve that inner harmony problem, the stress and overwhelm will probably continue because there's always going to be challenges in life. And really, it's in the way that you react and you respond to them that makes the difference. So, what does it mean to be in tune with yourself? Well, being in tune with yourself means that your inner energies are aligned so that you feel calm, you feel focused, you feel clear thinking, not just in general, that's nice, but in those tough moments. And so what I want to share today is meant to help you to get to start getting in tune with yourself so that again you can have your life could be easier, it could flow more, it could have more peacefulness to it. And I'm also going to share about how you can leverage that piece to ignite your child's potential and to bring some harmony into your home. So it's not just good for you, but everybody in your life. So really quickly here, I just want to take a moment just to kind of check in with you because in my experience, the parents who get the most out of this presentation are the ones who really connect with what I'm about to share, of course. Although obviously anybody can make positive changes, if they choose if they would like to. So here's a couple of things. If this sounds like you, then this is for you. This is the place where you need to be. You have nailed it in most parts of your life. You've built a successful career and financially you're in a good position. But sometimes you might struggle to balance caregiving and self-care. So you want strategies to stay centered and in control in those chaotic moments. And you want to be able to nurture and show up for your family with love and compassion. You are a spiritually minded person and you see the divine within yourself and your child, and you recognize their unique spark, knowing that they are capable of doing amazing things. But sometimes you find it challenging to awaken that spark while navigating their challenges, right? So you want to ignite your child's full potential. You are great at creating a loving home and uniting your family, but the daily hustle and life's challenges can make it hard to be consistent in maintaining a harmony in your home. So you want your home to be a haven of peace and understanding where laughter and love and togetherness are abundant. So if that sounds like you, this is it. This is for you. But there's a conflict between the life that you'd like to have for yourself and your family, and then everything else that's getting in the way. And that conflict really is at its core, what I say, an inner harmony problem. Because, like I said, there's always going to be challenges, always problems, always difficult people, and all that stuff, things you don't want to deal with. They're part of life and they're not going anywhere. And it doesn't really matter how successful you are or whether you have children with special needs or not, right? Life is always going to throw curveballs at you. It's just part of the deal, part of life. But when you are in tune with yourself, all of those things lose their grip on you, meaning that you don't get as easily derailed and you don't get triggered and thrown into a loop that puts you out of the game anymore or out of focus anymore. Being in tune with yourself actually solves the inner harmony problem and it transforms the way that you show up for your family so that you can have an easier time. So I just said a lot of stuff. Let me pause right here really quickly. Are there any questions right now? We're good? Nope. Okay, cool. All right. If you do and you're not watching this live, then of course, please drop a comment and I will answer you. So let's get to another reflection right now. Take a moment, please, if you will, to reflect on a time when life felt chaotic. If you'd like to, of course, you can close your eyes. You don't have to, if it, whatever helps you to do this. But I'd love to ask you to picture yourself handling that moment with complete calm, feeling centered and feeling courageous. So the question is, what would it be like if your centered, courageous self showed up to handle that chaotic situation? So let's take just a couple of seconds here and embrace that strength and that clarity for a moment. And notice how it feels right now to intentionally bring courage and calm into your life. And if you want to, while I grab my sip of water, drop a word or two in the chat that describes that feeling. So I'll take a look at that in a moment as we go, but I'll continue with this for now. There is strength and there's clarity in that, in doing this intentionally, bringing in calm intentionally. And of course, that's my goal, is to help people feel that intentionally on purpose. And that's actually the kind of energy that I strive to bring into my own life and to my family every day. I don't always do it. I'm not the perfect dad, but I certainly try to have that calm and that uh, peacefulness in our lives. So you're saying feeling glad and confident, emerge stronger mentally. Yes, it's a beautiful feeling, and it's great when we do that with intention. Thank you for jumping in the chat. So I want to just really quickly just share just a drop about myself and my family, just so you know where I'm coming from, just a drop about me. Um, so that's my wife, Corey. She is a nurse, and that's our son, Max. He is a very empathetic and a very funny teenager. He's a funny guy. Growing up myself with close family members with special needs has taught me the importance of me staying in tune with myself, especially during the tough times. And so that's why I highly value two things. The first thing is I really value investing in myself, yeah, financially, but also energetically and emotionally, because I really believe that when you transform your inner world, everything external begins to align. And that's had a really big advantage in helping me to support other people to do the same thing. And of course, the second thing is I try when I can to learn from the best mentors out there, whether that was in music therapy or as a drum circle facilitator, as a Reiki practitioner, or in all the different kinds of things I've done for stress elimination. Because working with the best mentors I could find has helped me to deepen the transformation that I can bring to others. So let me jump into that framework that I promised. Well, sounds like it makes sense, right? I call it the In Tune Parents Framework because it is your guide to getting in tune with yourself so that you can remain in control and calm when things feel chaotic. So you can bring out the best in your family and you can create harmony in your home. Obviously, as you can see, it's got three different pillars to it. Nurturing inner peace and balance, ignite your child's potential, and cultivate harmony in your home. Of course, I'm going to walk you through all of them, all three of these, so that you know what they are and how they can help you. Right now, I'll pause right here quickly. Are there any questions? Nope. Okay, cool. So nurturing inner peace and balance is really the fundamental pillar that anchors the other two of them. This is about maintaining an internal stance of unshakable calm that permeates all areas of your life. And what's important about this is that it enables you to see and to take effective actions that you might not have seen when you're stressed out. So it guides you to respond with clarity and with insight that comes from love rather than frustration, overwhelm, and chaos. I think that's such an important thing. So here's a quick example. I wonder if this sounds familiar. I'm not sure, but you know those times when maybe you're dealing with a lot of stress from work, or maybe whatever it is, you just have a lot on your plate, and your energy is totally drained. And all that you really want is just a moment of peace. But instead, your child is also having a really hard moment. Maybe they're overwhelmed or they're dysregulated and they're frustrated. And in that moment, you can really feel your own patience, it's wearing thin. It's not their fault, of course. It's not your fault either. It's just one of those moments where the demands of your life and the needs of your child intersect, challenging you to find that inner calm. So here's my point. I'm sure that in those moments, your reaction is probably very different from those times when you do feel in control and untriggered, right? So that is what nurturing inner peace is about. That's why I talk about peace and talked about peace in the beginning of this. It's what becomes possible with it. So how do you do it? You can embrace the practice of something called peaceful letting go. Okay, there's a very specific technique that you can use to let go of stress and chaos so that you remain in control when things feel out of control and stand in your power in all situations. I've been doing this technique for most of my life since I was about 9 years old. And really, it's the key to getting in tune with yourself because it instantly connects you with your inherent strength, with your peace, with your resilience, and the divine within you. All right. So I know that, we're talking about the word letting go. People have heard this before, and you might be thinking that it is impossible or at least really difficult to let go when we're talking about your child. But I promise you that the parents who are thriving the most and don't feel like they're losing it every other hour are the ones who learn to find better ways to let go of what they can't control. When you are in the middle of stress and chaos and your focus is on the chaos, it's really hard to come up with creative solutions or different ways to solve the problem, to be creative in those moments. But when you're centered, when you are centered and you're not letting go of sorry, when you are centered and not letting your emotions take over, that's when you can suddenly see different options that you hadn't seen before, right? New ways of speaking to your child, new ways of tapping your courage and your strength to tackle those big challenges. So here's the thing, like I mentioned, it's not something that you have to do. You don't have to figure out how to do this on your own. Like I said, there is a specific technique that you can actually learn that simplifies letting go, giving you a fast and a very easy few steps to crank up what is already a natural ability. I know that, so you're here, if you're watching this with us, you are somebody who is heart-centered, you are an empowered person, and you already have a strong foundation. You're a go-getter, you've crushed it in your career and other parts of your life, and you're great at managing the many pieces of caring for your child. You've invested quite a bit in your own growth, but the truth is, even the most put together parents face moments of struggle and overwhelm, right? We all do. It's natural. It's what life is. So having a process in place to nurture yourself in the moment, something that is quick and that's easy, that eliminates stress and overwhelm as it happens, can really help you to feel centered and in control right away, right? Not only does it make life easier, but it also creates a ripple effect that positively impacts your child, your relationships, and how you see the world. And by that, I mean that you begin to see your challenges actually as opportunities to go deeper into your peace and your clarity, allowing you to take the right actions. Okay. Everybody okay so far? I know I talk fast. We're in New York. I'm a New Yorker. I can't help it. That's how I do it. So a lot of people live by a very common misconception, and that's this idea that you can think your way out of any problem that you face. But the truth is that if you could think yourself out of chaos, you wouldn't have any problems, right? Nobody would because we're all experts at thinking. And so the key here is to find a way to stay centered so that nothing can trigger you. And that's exactly what letting go does. It's actually the reason that, or the reason why you see some of the most successful people in the world with coaches that are helping them stay focused and helping them let go, right? They want this help, and it's great to have a coach for that. Letting go makes a profound difference with this practice of inner peace and balance. Um, you'll experience and you'll handle those challenges and the chaos differently. Not just getting through them, but moving through them with grace and, as I like to say, unshakable calm that keeps you grounded. So this means that you're going to show up with more patience. It's got a positive impact on your mental and your physical well-being. And you'll be truly present, no longer unsettled by stress or overwhelm. And moving into your heart even deeper, you're going to feel a deeper connection with your child. How wonderful is that, especially if your child is nonverbal? So now imagine bringing that strength into every part of your life. You're not triggered by challenges anymore. You've mastered your emotions. Your energy is soaring, and you're getting really good at letting go. And all the while, you're being that leader who makes a positive impact in the lives of others. When parents don't use this practice, it's kind of like they're putting a Band-Aid on an injury that actually needs surgery. So we do different things to deal with that. Sometimes you try to grab a fast break by waking up a little bit early, to sneak a cup of coffee alone. Maybe, you hide out in the bathroom just a little bit longer, or you look for another kind of escape, wanting some relief. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. I've certainly done all of that, but we're looking for a relief from our stress. But the problem with that is that those kinds of escapes, as I call them, don't really solve the inner harmony problem. And therefore, the pressure is constantly building up until you can't hold it anymore. But again, like I said before, I know that since you're here watching this with me today or in a recording, that you're looking for something deeper. You're looking for something that lets you be fully present, resilient, and connected with your family no matter what life throws at you. So I'm just going to very quickly share just a couple of wins from some moms that were clients of mine who were once in your shoes, who discovered how peaceful and powerful this practice of letting go can be. And I know, like you, they were also looking for a deeper connection and peace. And of course, they found exactly what they needed. So just really quickly, I work with someone named Megan who lived with her in-laws with her family when I first met her. And she transitioned from feeling numb and overwhelmed to, as she puts it, feeling fully present and not afflicted by emotion. And then there's Jen, who transitioned from stress to tranquility. And she said, I can have a better relationship with my kids. My kids can have a happier mom, and I have more grace for myself. And then there's Tamara, who discovered how to create my own peace and stability without being overwhelmed. So as you can see by their wins, nurturing inner peace and balance, it's not just about calming down in the moment, but it's about what becomes possible when you let go. It's about holding an internal stance where you're not easily thrown off by life's inevitable challenges. I know it's definitely safe to say that life is going to keep on lifing you, right? There's always going to be curveballs, like traffic when you're already late, like balancing work demands, relationship issues, taking care of your home, appointments, the school system, dietary needs, sensory issues, emotional regulation, right? That is on top of all the stuff that you do for your family that nobody ever sees. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that you have to handle. But it's not just about handling what life throws at you. It's about transforming how you experience it so that none of it disturbs your inner peace and balance. And you show up in a powerful, centered place, even if everything in the world around you is going crazy. Because when you're in tune with yourself, you are the calm in the storm. And that's what happens when you solve the inner harmony problem. So let me pause again really quickly for some water and to ask you if you have any questions. Okay. All right. So now that we've laid the foundation with inner peace and why that's important, I'd like to tell you about how you can leverage that calm strength to ignite your child's amazing potential. So igniting your child's potential, you can do that by wholeheartedly believing in and embracing their strengths and their abilities, and to see them not just as somebody who depends on you for just about everything, but also as a guide and as a teacher with their own unique wisdom. That shift in perspective is really key because it can change how you view their capabilities and what you believe is possible for them. Now, I know that most people won't fully understand this from the outside. They might see your child first for their challenges and their difficulties, and often that's where their perception stops, right? But this narrow view can be pervasive, and it's easy to get caught up in it and lose sight of the incredible person that your child is and everything that they can achieve. So again, I talk a lot, I talk fast, but it is time for another reflection point. If you would, please think about your child's unique strengths. What's one strength that you see in them that you want to nurture more? And if you'd like to type that in the chat, that'd be awesome. I'll give you a moment for that. Or comments. So I'll move along, but of course I'll read your comment when it comes in. As you focus on that strength, remember that your ability to see and to nurture your child's potential is a really powerful gift, right? Anchored to you being in tune with yourself and tapping into your own strengths and your own wisdom to guide your child, right? There's a connection there. Okay. And I'm seeing for your daughter, obedience, empathy for others, maturity. Yes. What beautiful qualities. Absolutely. Thank you for that. So there is that connection between how we show up for our kids and what we help to bring out in them. So it's precisely by staying connected to your own inner peace and your clarity that you become the role model that they need, helping them not only to deepen their strengths, but also to shine in ways that others might not see yet, right? So your influence is key in unlocking their full potential and encouraging them to reach for heights that are truly, that truly reflect who they are. Igniting their potential creates a beautiful tapestry of growth, just as we were seeing in that comment. Spiritually, it nurtures their connection to the divine within. Emotionally, it builds resilience and confidence. Intellectually, it fuels curiosity and the love of learning. And behaviorally, it guides the development of positive habits, empowering them to handle life's successes and life challenges. Okay, so the other comment, I'll pause there for your son. Quick learning, self-learning, doesn't forget what he has learned, and obedience. Yeah, of course. And obviously, if we embody those qualities, we can help to magnify and bring them out in our kids. Thank you for sharing again. Okay, now here's the thing. When you're not igniting that potential, what happens? Well, you might find yourself picking activities that you think are best for them, or jumping in too quickly to help them, rather than letting them try it on their own. So you might be accidentally limiting their learning opportunities, or without meaning to, limiting their exploration based on what you believe they can or they can't do. Sometimes I know that it's out of love. You might not realize that you might be smoothing out too many bumps for them, or unknowingly setting limits on what they believe they can do, right? And then here's the other thing. I know that it's very easy to fall into patterns that have worked for you in the past, especially when you don't want to disrupt what's already working, even when you feel like it could be better, right? But you know that your child is meant for more. You know that their full potential within them is still untapped, and you are dedicated to uncovering what else is possible for them. You want to be sure that you're in a position to lead them on this path. And that's once again why you need to be in tune with yourself, which in this case is about you stepping into your full potential as a role model, right, for your child. Because the more in tune with yourself you are, then the better you can guide them. Fast story here. I think a great example that we definitely all should know of igniting a child's potential is Helen Keller's story. She was blind and deaf as a baby. I know she wasn't born that way. But she faced obviously, huge challenges right from the beginning of her life. But her parents and her teacher, Anne Sullivan, saw her not just as a dependent, but somebody brimming with inherent wisdom and abilities, right? Their unwavering belief, guidance, and support enabled her not only to overcome these challenges, but she soared way above them. I mean, we know her name now. We still talk about her now as an example, right? So that is, I think, a great testament to the amazing possibilities when you wholeheartedly believe in and nurture your child's inherent potential. The beauty of igniting your child's potential lies in what becomes possible for them and in how it enriches your relationship and strengthens you as their role model. Okay? So let's go for a pause right here. Are there any questions at this point? You can jump into the chat or the comments as we go. Nope. Okay, we're good. So now we've talked about how inner peace and igniting their potential go hand in hand. I'd love to share with you the last pillar, which is, of course, how to cultivate harmony in your home. Okay, Elaine, got you. Can't text, I'm driving. No problem. No problem. Of course, if you're watching this as a replay, I'll be keeping an eye on that and answering questions as we go for that as well. So I love your participation, even if you are watching this, as a replay right now. That's good. So cultivating harmony in your home is about creating a world of warmth and togetherness for your entire family, ensuring a place where everybody feels happy and safe and secure. Naturally, you are aiming for a home that resonates with harmony, of course. Now, I'm not saying that you have to live in a fairy tale where, everything that doesn't look anything like reality, or an Instagram perfect illusion where everything looks immaculate. Even the dust bunnies are organized, but you can't find the remote, right? Instead, it's about nurturing a genuine sense of peace, creating a space where everybody can thrive and grow, where safety and security are felt deeply, and where you feel like you're doing things right. When you experience that kind of harmony, I would love for you to understand that there is actually a deeper force at work. And so I'm going to borrow quickly from my music therapy background to kind of explain that, what I mean by that. I'm going to back myself up with this, right? There's a phenomenon that is grounded in the physical, but it's also has this really cool, fascinating, almost like a magical quality to it. And I'm talking about something that's known as entrainment. Okay. So that is when multiple rhythms sync up. This is the important part, with the strongest rhythm pulling the weaker ones into alignment with it. Okay. So, for example, these metronomes are all set to the same speed, but we can see that each one was started at a different time. You can see how the pendulums are not in sync, right? So they're not matching up. But after running for about 1 minute, they do line up perfectly. And so this is a way to kind of explain the entrainment. We see this in nature all the time. We see this when geese fly in formation, when they all flap their wings with whoever the leader, right? The leader in front, they're flapped together. When fireflies light up together, and when we're at a live concert and everybody starts clapping on the beat together in unison. Okay, so that's entrainment. Now, here's why I bring this up. Energy, frequency, and vibration are at the core of everything in our world, including our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. They're all elements of the same universal force that makes up everything around us. And entrainment is the reason your child's good mood becomes your good mood, because these vibrations connect and they resonate with each other. Okay, literally vibrations. And so here's the thing. Through entrainment, your inner harmony becomes a really significant force within your home. As a heart-centered and spiritually minded parent, you naturally give off these positive vibes, literally. And just like those, multiple rhythms syncing up together, your family will pick up on and they're going to resonate with your higher energy. This is something grounded in the physical. This is not woo-woo stuff, although I love woo-woo stuff. Right? So that's another reason, again, why being in tune with yourself is so important. When you embody confidence and a calm, centered presence, your children will become a mirror, reflecting these qualities back to you as well. Okay. So I'm saying to just leverage that ripple effect that this has in your family with awareness, with intention, right? We do it the best we can when we can. What's really cool here is that entrainment is always at play. That's the good part, right? It's just part of how the physical world works. But what we do need to watch out for is that it doesn't care if the vibes you're putting out are positive or negative, or if you're happy or sad or intentional or not, right? It just happens, regardless of the emotions or the intentions behind it. And the stronger rhythm pulls the weaker ones into alignment with it. And that's why bringing awareness and intention into your state of being is so important. Okay. Any questions right here? Try for some quick water. No questions. Okie dokie. With that, the last reflection of our presentation. What's one small change that you can make this week to bring more harmony into your home? I'll give you a couple of seconds. If you'd like to share that in the chat, that'd be cool. I should play Jeopardy music during these times. Again, I will move on, but I'll read your comments in a moment. This is not about trying to be perfect all the time. I certainly am not. It's not worrying. It's not about worrying about getting everything right. The point is, it is about who you are as a parent. It's the way that you show up. It's the energy that you radiate most of the time that shapes the atmosphere in your home and impacts your children, right? But it's not solely up to you. I know that. You live with other people. So everybody's thoughts and moods and emotions are all mixing and mingling. Everybody's energy is influencing everyone else's, right? There's all kinds of strong rhythms. So, you were saying to invite the kids to take part in kid-friendly domestic affairs and small decisions. Yes, that's beautiful. Give them the power when they can handle it, right? Give them as appropriate. Awesome. Thank you. So with everybody's, all different rhythms going on, you might not have a say in everything that happens in your home, but you do have the power to get back in tune with yourself when you notice that you're not in tune. Right. So of course, that's why I made the point about entrainment and how the stronger rhythms bring the other rhythm in sync with it. So if you notice disharmony in your home, and sorry, if you notice disharmony in your home, but you maintain your sense of inner peace and balance so that you're in tune with yourself, your family will naturally be pulled into your stronger vibration and begin to resonate with a healthier, more positive vibe. Right. Again, there's a very specific strategy that allows this to happen. My top clients with the most difficult challenges that you can imagine have mastered this to become a strong force that impacts their families and everybody around them. And what gets mirrored back to them is really it's been astounding. Okay. But if you're not in a good place yourself, whatever you do to try to bring that harmony into your home likely won't last, or won't have a lasting impact. Okay. So quickly, here's what cultivating harmony means for you. It means mornings starting with ease instead of chaos. It means meal times that are about connection and conversation, bedtimes that are peaceful wind downs rather than struggle. And right now, at this time of the year, a smooth transition getting off to school in the mornings or back to school at all right now. Okay. It means that as a parent, that you are more grounded and more present, which of course will feel good to you, but it is a really beautiful way to show up for your family. A deeper connection with your spouse or your partner, siblings that bond in a nurturing space. Conversely, when disharmony is the strongest rhythm, things can get really stressful, right? Kids definitely sense that too, right? They can pick up on all of our nonverbals. And so that means tougher mornings. It means meal times that are not enjoyable, bedtimes that start with struggle, rough transitions to school. You're feeling less grounded. You've got relationship issues and siblings that don't get along. The whole vibe in your house can feel heavy. There's fewer laughs. There's a lot more strain. So I say, do what you need to do to cultivate harmony in your home and in yourself, because your inner peace becomes the guiding rhythm for your household. Be intentional with that. So this is going to bring us to the end of the three pillars. But before we wrap things up, I just love to know, how are you feeling about what we've discussed so far today? Was there something that resonated with you? Are you curious to learn more about something? If you'd like to, please feel free to share your thoughts in the chat or comment. We'll check them out in a minute, if you wish. But again, I will keep on going for now. So today we covered the Intune Parents Framework, right, which is about nurturing inner peace, igniting your child's potential, and cultivating harmony in your home. I think I made the point with this one, but the key to making all this work is in being in tune with yourself and understanding that until you solve the inner harmony problem, your stress and overwhelm will likely continue because there's always going to be challenges in life. And it's about how you react and how you respond to them that makes the difference. So you need to make those responses and those reactions intentional and purposeful. And that's exactly what the practice of peaceful letting go does. Okay. All right. So let me jump in. Uh, Thank you. Great advice. I'm sure many parents will benefit from the presentation. Every positive change begins with inner peace, for sure. Yes. Thank you for that. I agree. So with that, what I've shared today is really just the tip of the iceberg. It's obviously impossible to cover everything that you have to know in this one short Zoom meeting, or if you're even watching a recording. So I just want to offer just a friendly word of caution here. I know that it is very tempting, or can be tempting, to think that you can take everything that I've just shared and implement this on your own and get the results you want. But it's not exactly how this works. You can do some of the stuff. You probably are already doing some of this. That's good. I hope so. But this is not really a journey that you can start and finish in this one video, right? In this one meeting. Getting in tune with yourself and implementing these three pillars is really a deep process. And you honestly, you need more pieces. In this format, I can't cover everything. Like the mindset work that you have to do first, the strategies for nurturing yourself in the moment to avoid overwhelm in the first place. And how do you keep on building on this progress? Right? You also need to know how to bounce back if you slip. We all slip, and how do you get back to this? And how to make all the energy and the effort that you're putting into this last for the rest of your life, right? So there's a lot more to this process. But that is exactly why I offer what I call a parent wellness assessment. This is a free 15-minute Zoom meeting to help you get started on getting in tune with yourself and to bring these pillars into your life starting immediately, right? So I've set aside some time in the next couple of days for us to do that. We're going to talk about three things. The first thing is I'm going to evaluate the conscious or the unconscious strategies that you've been using to manage stress and overwhelm. And then we'll discuss the best ways to optimize them so that you do feel in tune with yourself and you're able to become almost untriggerable in the face of your daily chaos. The second thing is that we'll talk about how to make sure that you're showing up as a powerful role model so your energy can impact your family more effectively. And then the third thing is I'll walk you through the exact process that you can personally implement to feel centered and in control. Okay. Now, a couple of fast things that I want to just mention really quickly about this. That is, this is not just a conversation. This is, for those who want it, an opportunity to gain personalized insights that can lead to breakthroughs, which lead to actions, right? So that you feel more in control in those tough moments. That's what I'm all about. It's about understanding what else is possible for you beyond the overwhelm and the stress. That's not all there is to this. And glimpsing what's on the other side of those challenging moments. Okay. So I would love for you to please take me up on this. Let's open up some new possibilities, right? Parents who've done this call have gained direction. They've gained a renewed sense of control over their lives. And I've seen how those insights can really transform the energy in a home. And of course, I want that for you too. So what I'd like to do here is I've got some slots within the next couple of days here. Um, and if you would like to grab one of them within the next 24 hours, then I'm going to throw in a bonus video, which is a very short music and breath video that I've created. It's perfect for when you need to just hit pause for a minute and get centered, get connected with your calm. And the whole video is less than 7 minutes. So yes, I will share the offering in the various Facebook groups and wherever this video is posted on YouTube. But right now in the chat, I'm going to just do it really, really quick. I'll send the link in the chat really quickly. Before we do that, here's who this is great for, just so you can help to decide if you'd like to do this. You should book the wellness assessment if you're somebody who's open to guidance and support to transcend stress so you can get in tune with yourself and inner peace and balance become your home base. If you're somebody who is driven by belief in your child's abilities and you're eager for support to ignite their potential, okay? And if you're somebody who is a doer and an action taker, you're aware of your challenges and you want some solutions, right? If that's you, definitely grab your spot, right? Grab your link. So let me just quickly post that link here. I will post it wherever the video appears as well. So that would get you to my calendar so you can book your spot. Obviously, you'll see the times that are available. pick the one that works for you, of course, and then we'll connect on Zoom at the time you chose. All right. I thank you so much. I've really enjoyed sharing this with you. I'd love to connect on one of those calls. And well, thank you. This will conclude the meeting. I'll hang out for a second in case anybody has any questions or wants to chat. Otherwise, thank you for joining me.